Alright, I'm curious about this Internet Versus video that got uploaded. Apparently there is drama in the Terraria community. I haven't played Terraria in who knows how long. That's a game that I haven't touched since over a decade ago, at least. I think I last played Terraria when I was in like 6th or 7th grade. Ha ha ha, 6, 7. Whoa, I'm so funny, guys. Yeah, that's the last time I played Terraria. I don't think I've ever played Terraria since then. I don't know. I'm interested. It seems kind of interesting, this drama. It got me hooked, that's for sure.
A huge drama involving game dev groomers, XQC.
Whoa, game dev being a groomer? Well, that's not good, if that's true.
In his past controversies, Soy Jack Party, pirating, and more has blown up online, all
Whoa, okay, wow, this seems like it runs deep.
because of a mod for a popular game.
Can't be deeper than some of the men go and some of the women in Williamsburg, Brooklyn now, can it? That's a joke if you live in New York, Brooklyn. Only a few of you will get that.
Terraria. The mod Calamity has been an extremely popular and prolific mod for the past 10 years, with multiple devs and music creators working together on it. However, a while back, the leader at the time, Fabsol, got outed to be acting inappropriately with minors in his Discord, and back then a whole drama was spawned and a new leader was assigned, Ozatron. Well,
interesting, hold up. So wait, hold on. Shay, wait, you mean, Shay? Wasn't that Shay person like an Undertale speedrunner on Twitch? And they got a ton of allegations against them? I did a whole video on Shay where, like, I would say majority of the allegations were kind of a nothing burger, but there was, like, a very small portion. I'd say, like, 10% of the allegations, in my opinion, were pretty damning against Shay. There were some that, like, were definitely, I would, classify as sexual assault at the very least, and, the 10% part of it, I think, were some inappropriate age gaps that he was engaging with some underage people. I have no idea. Is this a different Shay? Maybe there's a different Shay. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it. Maybe it's a different Shay. Hey everyone, today we were informed of some of the statements made by Fabsol in the server that directly affected members of the trans Calamity community. Soon after this was brought up, we were also provided screenshots from an NSFW server Fabsol co-owned where several minors were allowed to join. Oh, that's not good. That's definitely... Allowing them to join those environments could potentially enable some environments where children could get groomed, so that's not good. Fabsol has confirmed to us that the server existed and all of these events took place, and while the events within that server occurred several years ago, these actions are unforgivable. Fabsol has already stepped down from a leadership position, and we, as a team, are currently deciding the best course of action to take from here. We wanted to address the situation publicly first because we know this affects a lot of our player base. Damn, that's tough.
Discord. And back then, a whole drama was spawned and a new leader was assigned, Ozatron. Well, as of just last week, this new lead dev, Ozatron, also got busted for being in the very same Discord server that Fabsol was in years back. And
oof.
Participated.
Damn, really seems like there's a side community in the Terraria modding community that allows grooming. That's, maybe Schlepp has his next target for the predator stings that he does, so long as he doesn't work with Gideon or Skeeter Gene, because I don't, given recent events regarding the EDP documentary that came out, I don't think Gideon or Skeeter Gene are particularly good people.
And very similar behavior. Now, as a result, there has been tons of fallout, with devs pulling out en masse and demanding their content be removed from the mod, Ozatron not interacting or responding to anyone and holding the Patreon money, XQC asking—
Oh, that could also lead into some scamming allegations as well. If they're still collecting money from Patreon, but they're not communicating and they're not doing any work on the mod, that could be considered a scam, and that's not good as well either. I would be mad if I was a subscriber or patron and I wasn't getting the proper benefits either.
The mod and getting met with backlash from the devs, Ozatron getting doxxed, and so much more. But there is a lot to get into, so let's just jump in. Welcome to the Internet versus the Calamity mod. And just as a disclaimer, please do not harass anyone mentioned in this video. This video is purely for entertainment purposes only. But it starts when Wasafi posts this screenshot with the caption, "Welp, the Calamity mod has officially ended its development." It's honestly kind of unbelievable that it's done just like that. And
that's unfortunate, man.
This is a
I remember I grew up with a lot of video games. Like, there's Call of Duty Zombies, that's one of them. The modding scene in Call of Duty Zombies is very vast, and you see it it for the backdrop of a lot of the commentary videos I do. Maybe it'll be on this one. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. I'll decide that when I get to editing, I suppose. But, yeah, no, the modding scene is huge for games. Like, Doom has some mods that I've always been excited for. Fallout has some cool fucking mods. And, like, there's a whole Discord server dedicated to these sorts of things. Like, Fallout Miami, Fallout London as well. And to know that a mod could just be canceled like that, it's, I would say, the same level of disappointment you could get from a video game getting canceled, because it's still a form of art done by the community, even if it's not on the same budget or by the same developers as the original source material.
Discord message attached where Calamity mod developers makes an announcement saying, "Hey everybody, we've been having a lot of internal discussion, and after much debate, we've come to announce a very difficult decision. We will unfortunately be ceasing all development of Calamity. There's a few reasons we've decided to do this, but there's one simple reason that stands far above the—"
Okay, sorry about that. I accidentally tabbed out. I have to just edit that out real quick. Sorry about that.
Of you are aware of the troubled past of Calamity's developments.
Yeah, I also realized that the earlier parts of this video were a little bit quieter than normal, so I raised the volume on it. Hopefully that helps.
At this point, many of us have felt personally betrayed time and time again after being promised something better that never ended up coming. We're just tired at this point, and almost all passion we had for the mod has been soured, with many of us having chosen to leave as a consequence. Most of us want to simply move on, and would be far happier working on our own projects that aren't and won't be tied to something with that we feel as an irrecoverably tainted reputation. Some of you are also probably aware that we've received several requests for—
Are the allegations of the members that were part of this Calamity Discord server that bad? Or was it really that bad?
Asset removals, and wonder what will happen about that if there will be no further development. It sucks, but the answer is that the lack of anybody to work on the mod, combined with the staggering amount of these we've received since, makes removing and replacing every single one functionally impossible. Ceasing development is frankly the closest thing we can do to fulfilling everybody's request. Absolutely do not harass anybody who has requested their assets be removed from the mod. This is only a small part of the issues we're facing, and it's not the fault of a single one of them that this is happening. All of them have valid reasons to want this, and we wish we could reasonably take the time to follow through with these requests before throwing in the towel. In terms of where this will go past this, due to legal concerns, no re-uploads or forks of Calamity can be made and uploaded. For the sake of clarity, this means that things such as fables, add-ons, and such are fine, but past that though, we don't really know. A lot of what happens next depends on Ozatron being present to potentially hand things over and sort things out.
Yeah, well apparently that's not going to go particularly well, considering Ozatron was also part of the Nuxtaku equivalent Discord. I guess technically it may not be as bad as Nuxtaku's Discord. It depends on the context. It's not a good idea to have minors join a Discord server that has NSFW in it, obviously. I think that's a no-brainer to a majority of people. It's just not a good idea in general. But can be layers to it. Could it just be like an NSFW Discord where it's edgy jokes and there was no intention to ever try to use it to wear down their boundaries to try to take advantage of a minor? Or was that actually happening in the Discord, right? That's what I would like to know, mainly. I mean, it's really going to be the big question. It's not good either way, but there are levels of bad to whether or not it's, I guess, irredeemable in my eyes.
Such as bounties up for work for the mod yet to be paid and his sole ownership over the Calamity mod GitHub. As of now, he's not responded to anything in the development server recently, and we're hoping to get back in contact soon to resolve all of this. However, given the current state of things, we don't know if he'll even bother. However, there is one thing that is certain despite all of this. All of us developers are incredibly thankful for the overwhelming amount of support over the past decade. It's mind-boggling how big Calamity and its community have become over the years, and so many of us have loved working on it even up until these final days in spite of everything. This journey has been long, bumpy, rough, and chaotic, yet it's still been wonderful despite that. Working on this, so many of us have learned to accomplish things that we never thought we would be able to do, and no matter how painful it is to never see our dreams truly finished, the things we've learned we can do to be able to see the rest of our dreams maybe come to fruition someday is something that can never be taken away. So to all of you who have been with us, new or old players, those who are only into Calamity casually, and for those who have had it be a defining part of their lives, thank you for helping make our dreams come true.
Damn, that's unfortunate, man. I'm sure that like the Terraria community in general was looking forward to Calamity mod. I'm sure that it was probably like a big thing. I mean, there's so many different mods that are exciting to play through. I played through some mods on the channel. I think, what was it? There was a Doom 3 mod I played earlier this year called Doom 3 Phobos, and it was the backdrop of a lot of my videos back in March, and I think some in February. I think it was mainly March and April, actually, now that I think about it. But, yeah, Doom 3 Phobos is a fantastic mod. It has a very, very good story, way better than it has any right to be. And Doom 3 Phobos has just, like, solid gameplay overall. It basically is like Doom 3's gameplay, but better, and it overhauls it a lot. It's just a really fun experience, and also, again, the story's really good. I know Episode 4 is still not out yet for Doom 3 Phobos, and hopefully it comes out eventually.
And Puddles replies, dumb decision. 10 years, biggest, most substantial mod in one of the best-selling games of all time. Like 5 chuds and they decide to nuke it all. Very silly IMO. Guess the fan content will have to carry the torch. And Cryptid Bunny says, when you get 2 grooming files as leaders in a row, you end up just fucking giving up.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like I said, I would like to know how bad the allegations are. Is there a place we can read some of the allegations from these Terraria devs or whatever?
That's it says, the modding scene was always like this, by the way. Just a bunch of retarded
Whoa!
children who always killed their projects because of retarded Discord drama.
Whoa!
I hope someone keeps maintaining this crap out of spite. I can't imagine anything gayer than claiming forks of it are illegal. And Knockrot says, retarded Discord drama and it's grooming and foul behavior. The fuck is wrong with you? And that's it replies, all the stuff that led to this outcome is so retarded I can't even bother discussing. A bunch of adults feeling the urge to goon over whatever on Discord, and finding out kids are in the server and rolling with it. Can you think of something more imbecile than this?
How much do you want to bet that this Twitter account is a guy that voted for Donald Trump? Would you guys be surprised if they voted for Donald Trump? I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd be particularly too surprised. Again, I would need to know the content in the Discord. Obviously, NSFW content in your Discord with minors present, not good, obviously, should not be happening, and it's very irresponsible. But what was the intention, right? Was there actual grooming behavior, or is it going to be like just a typical online allegation? Because I know there's a lot of online allegations where it's just like grooming becomes a buzzword online and it like loses all meaning. I would say most recently it hasn't been like that as much just because of what's been going on in the political atmosphere. Also probably just because I'm less terminally online than I used to be. So maybe it's just because I care more about the real world impact of grooming and like Donald Trump being involved on Pedophile Island with Jeffrey Epstein being a rapist pedophile. Also Ghislaine Maxwell, who was also grooming women and young children to go onto Epstein Island. So maybe I just care a little more about that personally, but I guess, I don't know. I would need to know the contents of this Discord server is really what I'm getting at. I would need to know how bad does it really get?
Genesis Rhapsodo says, there's a lot of I'm entitled to decide what is done with other people's unpaid work in these replies. They gave something to the game that many of us enjoyed for free for a time. It's okay to leave it at that. Rock Solid quotes the post with this meme of a woman saying, what a bummer. I didn't see that coming at all. And a man responding, I did.
Does Rock Solid even play any of the fucking games he complains about? Because I remember he made a tweet about Dead by Daylight and he was like trying to make it seem relatable when the motherfucker hasn't even booted up Dead by Daylight once. Like, I swear to God, Rock Solid just, like, tries to seem relatable, but all they do is they just rage bait and then, like, try to make tweets that are in favor of chuds on Twitter, just for grifting. That's all it is. It's just another right-wing grifting account.
Glugan says, a stupid-ass decision, lol. Letting a project and its community die over 2 guys after said community poured 10 years and thousands of dollars into said project is just laughable. I honestly think it's pretty disrespectful to everyone who has supported their work through Patreon or merch. But that's just me, I guess.
No, I think that's a valid reason to get upset. I mean, if they really felt like there wasn't any motivation, they would be like, yeah, no, we're sorry. I think at the very least, they probably should refund everybody on Patreon, because, like, people that did show support and put development into this mod, like, I don't know, they paid money thinking that it would help with the mod's development, but clearly if the development didn't get done, I think that it should warrant some refunds at the very least.
Rapinim quotes the post by saying, thinking about the fact that there's an item called Shattered Community, dedicated to Ozatron, attaching the Calamity wiki page, and showing the item here and saying here at the top, this item is dedicated to Ozatron.
That's crazy.
And just for context about the Ozatron drama, this post went viral on the Calamity Mod subreddit by perching a butterfly, and there is this compilation video here attached, along with just a bunch of disclaimers just clarifying the context of the video. You can pause to read if you want, but these are just various disclaimers. And essentially, this video is 15 minutes straight of screenshots of tons of different Discord messages and interactions and Reddit posts, essentially proving that Ozatron knew about Fabsol's NSFW Discord server. And again, as a reminder, Fabsol was the previous Deb who was caught for grooming and had a Discord server with a bunch of minors in it and lewd channels and things of that nature.
That's pretty fucking insane. I think we do have to find this original Reddit post. I think we're gonna have to find the video on this Reddit thread just so we can see what we're dealing with here. All right, yeah, we got the original Reddit thread. This is a 15-minute video of screenshots and going over all the context of the Ozatron grooming allegations. So I guess listen, I think that this context is probably important going into this Internet Versus video. So I think that I am just gonna watch this, see what we can get, see what we can turn up, see if the Discord is really as bad as they say it is. We'll see.
I do think it's good to some degree that the Calamity community is concerned about another Fabsol-like lead dev emerging, but Oz is not, and I have a lot of reasons to think that. First of all, after Fabsol was removed, Ozatron was unanimously chosen by the Calamity developers to be the new leader. After how much turmoil the devs suffered under Fabsol, I find it very hard to believe that they would elect someone who behaved similar to him in any way. And keep in mind that the devs have actually worked with Oz for years, so they know what he's like.
Well, I guess clearly they didn't know what he was like at all, because he was allegedly pretty bad behind the scenes with underage people. Seems like I forgot this is a fucking Reddit video, so I have to fucking hit mouse 1 every time I pause. Welcome to Wormhell. This is November 2019. Oh my god, wait, this is old. This is an old fucking Discord. What the hell? This is an ideally chill server where people crack inappropriate jokes, vent about things that stress them, and post lots of porn. There are a few rules that are intentional to maintain a casual atmosphere and relax and meme about without walking on eggshells or being heckled. However, the few rules we have, we take extremely seriously. Punishments will be severe. We know that you won't bend the law because you were trusted with if you entered the space. But the rules need to be clear. Do not post anything which breaks Discord's term of service. That means no gore, bestiality, or lolly content. Note that Discord's interpretation of lolly is any depiction of anything, fictional or not, which appears underage. Servers can and have been nuked suddenly without warning for this. So I don't know if that necessarily means that they themselves are against lolly, because the way that they worded that, it just sounds like Discord's depiction of lolly. I think we all know what lolly is. I think we all like understand what constitutes lolly. Like we don't need to go in specifics. I think anyone who sees lolly as bad would know what lolly is. I don't know why they felt the need to clarify what Discord's interpretation of lolly is. Do not post anything not safe for life. People tend to agree with this stuff. Nightmare fuel, deeply discomforting, or scars you. Don't talk about Wormhell outside of Wormhell. More specifically, don't mention anyone who's here or anything NSFW that they post. Oh, that's a red flag. Uh-oh. Wait, that's a legitimate... That could actually be a legitimate grooming tactic, where it's like, hey, don't fucking tell anyone outside of this Discord server of anything you see. It's like the fucking Fight Club scene of, hey, you do not talk about Fight Club outside of Fight Club. That's bad. That could be the biggest red flag to me, actually. You must be over 18 to be invited to the server from here on out. Anyone lying about their age or anyone else's age will be punished. You will be punished in my fucking sex dungeon if you're underage. That's right, I'm gonna fucking get the whip out, and you're gonna become the new Gimp from Pulp Fiction. It's actually very inappropriate, given the context of this story. That's crazy. The vent is for venting and talking about stressful situations, not shit-talking others behind their back. You can and should express your feelings, but be respectful to everyone while doing so, including people who aren't there. Yeah, that's a red fucking flag if I've ever seen it. The Wormhell is a secret society on Discord. This is our Discord secret society. Wasn't this FabSoul server? What does Ozatron have to do with this? Did Ozatron know kids were being groomed? I don't know, man. Like, the fact that they said you can't talk about the server outside, that, to me, could be used as a legitimate grooming tactic to keep the server secret. Like, that kind of, like, communicates to me that you know that there is some weird shit being posted in that server. I don't know. Okay. I'm busy deleting donor items by request. That's why I haven't been here or anyone else. Holy. Yeah, alright. Fuck. This guy has a Sam Hyde profile picture. That's crazy. I'm trying my best to be level-headed and responsible about all of this. I am definitely very stressed, but I wouldn't want to do something hasty or rash that I will regret, so I am sticking to the practical parts in the code for now. I'm not avoiding you all in the team. Okay, maybe I am a little. I think that if I were present, I would not be able to do much. My hands are literally shaking. I'd like to prioritize my mental health if possible. I'm doing what I can in the corner, and I will respond to pings. Dude, this guy needs to... I don't know. It sounds like you need to go outside more. It sounds like... I always get so weird. It's like these people are, like, freaking out over online drama. Like, whatever. It seems more important than it actually is, but just go outside more, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like, not that worked up over it. Like, this is a literal fucking Discord server. Is this in the context of minors? Is that what this is? When FabSoul... Oh, yeah, it literally says it here. Duh, holy fuck. When FabSoul was being accused in a group call, Ozatron didn't join in. Was he unaware of FabSoul's misconduct in the NSFW server? Well, I mean, everybody said that he was aware of it, no? If Oz was bad as well, that would likely... that likely would have been brought up in the expose along with the FabSoul stuff, or at least some other point afterwards. So to me, it reads like they're spreading lies with the intention of defaming him. Call me biased, but I'm using my own sensibility and brain to come to my own conclusions. Good fucking lighting choice on your keyboard. Also, fingers are smooth, long, and nice. Very useful no matter who you're with. DBD, DND, wait, that's right, doesn't know my age. I'm 15, by the way. Ha, imagine being 15. Now you can't do anything to me. Wow, incredible. Not really. I don't know, like, the moment you see somebody say, hey, I'm 15, ban, instantly, get out of the fucking Discord, goodbye, you're banned, fuck you, dude, don't want to deal with that. Be casually open to NSFW. I mean, they did join at roughly the same time. So that communicates that FabSoul and Ozatron were close to some capacity, because I feel like they like sort of knew each other, they were sort of close, I don't know. How many people are 15 here? Jeebus. Well, there's me, there's blank, who else? Oh, right, blank is also 15. Yeah, I would say everybody should be banned here. Oh, mint color is 19. I guess, yeah, this guy. How many people are 15 here? This is a 19-year-old. All these other members are 15 years old. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the Discord that are 15. Wow. So much for enforcing rules about minors not being allowed in your server. Holy fuck, dude. Whoever did this, be it a dev or not, is going to become an enemy of the entire Calamity community if I find out who it was. This is important. It has to come to my attention that someone has leaked stuff done in this server, and as such, I am forced to do the following. This is a private server. Everything that happens in here has to stay in here. I stay in the rules chat. If I don't find out, I can go as far as closing the server entirely. Dude, this is crazy. I don't know, man. Keeping the server fucking private and nobody is allowed to talk about the server outside of it, that's fucking insane to me. That is an insane rule. Also, how the fuck do you enforce a rule like that on a Discord server? Like, how do you, like, there's no controlling every single person that goes to that server and then who they talk to about it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's not particularly a rule that you can entirely enforce. And why do you want to have it to begin with? Almost feels like the recipe for grooming to happen here was already there. I don't know. It's very fucking strange. It's very suspicious. A lot of the building blocks for the story is very suspicious, to say the least. A heated witch hunt led to the leaker getting kicked out, and the information spread was suppressed. Okay, so after thinking about it, anyone that has permissions to create invites in the server cannot invite anyone under 18 from now on. That's just how it's going to have to be. What do you mean that's going to be how it has to be? Isn't that a no-brainer? Shouldn't it have been that way in the beginning? Whatever. It is what it is, I guess. I'm not removing anyone that's already here, though, unless they want to leave. If anyone disagrees with this decision, please let me know in Wormhell 2 or something. If I find out that somebody was invited here after the rules implemented, lied to me, or anyone else about their age, they will be permabanned from the server. Wow. Will do, Fab. Thank you. No action was taken regarding the known minors in the server, and the ones who left during this scare were re-invited. So teal is 17, salmon color was 17, green was 15, red was 15. Fabsol was 26 at the time of these messages. That's pretty crazy. I don't know, man. I'm 24 years old. If I had a Discord server and I found out a minor was in there, I'm fucking banning that person. Go home, kid. Go do your homework. Goodbye. Go do your homework and go watch some YouTube videos. Go play your video games or something. Go do something that isn't being part of a fucking Discord, man. I don't know what to tell you. Fabsol eventually left the server in 2022, with Ozatron inheriting ownership. After this, the server kept going for a few months, before being archived. Channel still visible, but no new messages are allowed. Alright. Wait, what the fuck is this? Hold on, wait a minute. Wormhell 2, gamers with gamers rise up. Memes and... Is that dares? Memes and dar... I don't know what that says. Your art here, event channel, and then all the NSFW channels. Furry male, fictional female, cuties and softies, real female, furry female, fictional male, real male. Wow. Lots of NSFW channels for a Discord server that has minors in it. That's an awful lot of them. Okay, sorry, I fucking lost my spot. I'm not sure if this is where I ended up, but I don't know. It was roughly around this area. Why wasn't any of this brought up earlier by Ozatron, who was in Wormhell from the beginning? Where was he during the 25th? Why didn't he step in to expose the grooming and corroborate the evidence? Good question. Earlier in 2022, when Fabsol was under fire for his general behavior, sparking a mass developer departure, why didn't Ozatron take that opportunity to reveal what took place in the NSFW Discord? Probably because it doesn't make him look good. And I mean, these are good questions to ask. Ozatron was just as active in Fabsol as Fabsol in Wormhell. He was one of the mad lads that made it actually exist after all. So, yeah, we got a 15-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a bunch of other people that are well into adulthood at this point. He helped out with the server organization, writing the rules and making new channels as needed. One of the rules was to never talk about the server anywhere else. Yeah, again, that to me is the part that could enable some level of grooming. If they weren't allowed to talk about this Discord server, that's a huge fucking red flag in my opinion. That's a huge, huge red flag. Especially when minors are involved. Like, you can't even talk about the server with your fucking parents. Like, how far do you want to go with this rule? Ah, okay. I actually bothered to read the whole history here, and I feel proud of myself. Noise. Yet another Calamity server to keep track of, I guess. Well, I never interact with art, and I'm only in the Smash server because I helped push for its existence. I really don't play Smash anymore. So I have a question. Is all of this stuff going to be in the Internet Versus video and I watched this for nothing? I do want to just double check real quick. Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing, I skimmed ahead in the Internet Versus video, but a lot of the stuff is going to be in the Internet Versus video. So we got a glimpse into some of it. There's a lot of shady stuff that's going on here. There's probably more I haven't seen in this video. So I'm going to keep this Reddit tab open. If we have to come back to it and maybe look at stuff that we might have missed in the Internet Versus video, we'll take a look at it. I just wanted to see what we're getting into, because this does seem like a much bigger rabbit hole than I was prepared to deal with, but hey, we're going to deal with it nonetheless. I mean, we're doing the segment right now, so we'll just get back to the Internet Versus video for the time being, and if we have to go back to that Reddit post, we'll go back to it.
Now, there's tons of different pictures and evidence in this video, but just to give a little context, this is what this video mostly looks like. We have a user here asking in this Discord back in 2020, January 21st, saying, how many people are 15 here? And then another user says, well, there's me, there's pink, there's blue, who else? Oh, right, green is also 15. And then red answers, that's all that matters, I'm also 15. This is around 4 a.m. And then there's a whole section here where the pink user is talking to Ozatron about their interests, along with a blue and...
hold up, let's see. I'm like low-key horning. So this pink is 15, they say that they're horny. Listen, I was a fucking horny 15-year-old as well, but, I don't think that would be a justifier for any adults to engage at all. It's on Ozatron, because they're 15 years old. I think Ozatron would be 24 or 25 at this point. It's his responsibility to not be engaging back with this 15-year-old. So they're talking about horniness, that's already not an appropriate conversation to have. What? No, masturbating is for ewies. Yellow, I'm calling the cops. He's adding yellow. Alright, pink, what flavors do you like? Flavors? What do you mean? Flavors as in flavors of lewd content. Dude, come on. Oh, come on, dude. No! Why? Why are we having this conversation with a 15-year-old? Why are we doing this? You're 24 years old, man. 24 and 15, dude. That's gross. Come on, man. What are we doing? No, that's so fucking weird.
User is talking to Ozatron about their interests, along with a blue and gold user actively engaging, and Ozatron is asking questions.
Yeah, isn't blue also a minor at this point as well? We know that pink is a 15-year-old. That's what is being alleged. Okay, real people or 2D? And I guess most direct question, boys or girls? Hair colors, outfits, poses? I'm morbidly curious. Why are you morbidly curious in what a fucking 15-year-old enjoys seeing?
About what type of NSFW video.
This is definitely not an edgy joke Discord. Like, it would have been one thing if it was like edgy jokes were being said and they were making like edgy sexual jokes about shit or whatever. It would be one thing, but they're actually talking, like, these are actual sexual conversations that the 24-year-old is having with a 15-year-old. Like, these are actual, like, hey, what is your sexual interest? What do you like? What are you into? Like, that's insane. That's not an edgy joke at that point. That's fucking, insane.
Or pictures or anything that they like, and having a full-on conversation with this pink user here that was just referenced earlier. I'm not going to read all of it, but you get the idea. And then essentially he sends a photo after finding the user's preference saying, this is my first attempt to align with a pink's preferences.
That's insane. Wow.
And Pink says, you have gotten close, I'll give you credit. And Ozatron says, thank you, I try very hard. And there's tons more context and information about the specifics of the server.
Okay, so at this point, Ozatron... Okay, so they would have been 24 in the previous screenshot, because it says Ozatron's 24, Orange is another minor, who is a 16-year-old at the time. First move is to remove all content from this Discord server. Second move is I'm leaving because I'd also prefer not to get banned in collateral damage, and I don't know how that works. What the fuck is going to happen to me? What the fuck? Oh god, this is bad. Third move, stop drawing and or posting things of blank. This is really bad. Oh my fucking god. See you later. I'll be really upset if we wind up deleting the Discord, but I'm leaving for now.
People leaving, people joining.
Why is there so much responsibility being put on a fucking 16-year-old for a 24-year-old? I don't understand.
That's a video for another time. All the exact specifics aren't super relevant, but essentially, yes, he was in the server with multiple minors doing inappropriate conduct. This Reddit post will be linked in the description if you want to skim through all of the messages and all of the different context and information. But as for the internet...
Yeah, okay. So there is definitely some more context that I think we do need to view as well in that video. So we're going to go back to that Reddit video, because Internet Versus did skim through that video of context, so I would like to get the context myself as well before we get back to this video. I do think we're going to skim a little bit because this video is a little bit, it's a little bit of a long video. It's 15 minutes. I don't know if we have that kind of time to deep dive every single nook and cranny. I don't think we need to see every single instance of bad behavior. I think I've seen enough to, at the very least, say, yeah, Ozatron was definitely having some level of sexual conversation with a 15-year-old at the age of 24, which is pretty gross overall. It's pretty uncomfortable. Like, it definitely wasn't like an edgy joke. It was like having actual sexual conversations about, hey, what's your sexual interest and stuff. That's weird as fuck. Why would you do that? You're 24 years old, man. I'm 24 years old right now. That's not conversations I would be having with a 15-year-old. I'll tell you that much. What else do we got here? Okay. Sugar High. I guess here's a continuation of Ozatron's conversations with Pink, who was 15 at the time. What with his collection? His porn is organized too, at Ping. I respect that. Are people's normally not? I don't know. I don't organize porn. I don't know if I'm that, like, listen, I'm a gooner to the millionth degree, but one, I don't involve minors in it, and two, I'm a fucking, like, I don't think I organize it that much. I'm not that invested in porn. I don't know. I'm too chicken to save lewd photos / art. I don't store porn, no. Most of the people here like really thick girls, so you're a refreshing change of pace. That's good to hear, oddly enough. Well, then, of course, there's the people here into traps, twinks, boys, then all the Fuda people, and, of course, the furries. Dude, these people are fucking degenerate. Jesus Christ. You're talking about this with minors. What the fuck is happening? Like what you like, lol. Now I think about it, I might be into lesbian stuff. Whoa. That's not appropriate. Naughty. That's not good. Does that make me gay? I'm confused. No, that does not make you gay. For someone questioning their gender like you, gay isn't well defined unless you're using a catch-all term for any sexuality which isn't clearly heterosexual. I mean, gay to me is liking people that fall under the same gender as you. You're in a state of discovering new things and changing, so I wouldn't be too quick to label yourself gay. You can obviously call yourself whatever you want. That's fair, but I think the most appropriate would be queer or questioning. I tend to avoid guys in general. Talking to them makes me feel very uncomfortable. Not to say that I don't have guy friends, but most of my friends are girls. Like, who do you have as a friend that you're sexually attracted to is not necessarily the same, of course. Yeah, of course. There's also the concept of romantic versus sexual. Dude, they can take a sex ed class. It is not your job as a 24-year-old owner of this fucking Discord to be educating 15-year-olds on sex. It's not your fucking job, dude. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? This is so inappropriate. Like, I don't know. Based on the messages that I'm seeing, right? Okay, now here's my charitable interpretation to Ozatron. The charitable interpretation is that Ozatron, so far, and I haven't seen anything, but so far Ozatron hasn't seemingly used this as an opportunity to wear down their boundaries, but the conversations that are happening here are absolutely not appropriate. At the very least, you are in no shape to be owning a fucking Discord server, and I certainly wouldn't trust my kid around Ozatron. We haven't seen so far that they're using this to wear down their boundaries to make them more comfortable with sexual conversations or sexually exploiting them in any way so far that we know of. But what's happening here is enough for me to go, yeah, you probably shouldn't be behind this Terraria mod, and you probably shouldn't be owning this Discord server. I don't know. This is very strange shit. Let's play a game of tennis, and it's just anime porn. What does that mean? The girl on the bottom is more my thing. Well, typically tennis involves hitting back and forth. You don't have to play if you don't want to. I will try then. Oh, God, am I not going to like what I'm reading here? I will try then. Reddit is down. Ah, okay, it's not down, and the miner sends porn themselves. Better. I concede. You are an enigma to me. Ha. You didn't explode in a key mashing like most bottoms here do. What the fuck, dude? This is a 15-year-old you're talking to. What are we doing? Oh my god, you're like exposing them to porn as well. Oh, this is so not good. This is not good. I see. I got really scared for a second. Even with this evidence, I refuse to believe it. Key smash. Oz is a bottom switch or something. What scares you? I mean, Cynthia is functionally a sex goddess, and she could absolutely top me. Wow, this is really bad. Here's more inappropriate conversations. Green is 17, red is 15. Ozatron is, that's often because breasts are well framed and presented by clothing. People have gotten very, very good at making clothes that make breasts look appealing. Keep in mind, he is talking in a chat with a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old, while he is 24 at this point. So it seems like Ozatron, we already saw this in the Internet Versus video, but Ozatron seemingly was talking about leaving the Discord because clearly this is damning information that they don't want getting out to the public, and they're having very, very sexual conversations with several minors at this point. Debatedly, it is some level of sexual exploitation. The fact that they didn't want anyone in the server telling anyone about it could even suggest grooming. Everything I've seen here so far is definitely not a good look. I tried to be even a little bit charitable to Ozatron, but even with the charitable interpretation, Ozatron still does not look good in this situation at all. This is not a good look in the slightest. Okay, I skimmed through the rest of that Reddit video. There didn't seem to be anything interesting that I could find. Maybe there was something that I missed there. Maybe there's more context, but I think that's basically the gist of it. There was definitely, based on the evidence that I've seen, there was definitely some inappropriate shit going on in that Discord server, for sure. There were a lot of conversations that absolutely should not be happening. I don't think Ozatron should be around kids. The fact that he was exposing them to fucking NSFW content is pretty insane as well. Talking about sexual interests and being like, oh, you're discovering yourself and whatever. This is like insane conversations to be having with kids. I don't know. It's very fucking weird stuff. It definitely is not a good look for a 24-year-old to be talking with minors this way at all. They're 24 years old. Multiple minors were present. Yeah, it's just not good. It's definitely, to some extent, it's potentially grooming as well because of the fact that one of the rules was literally, hey, you're not allowed to talk about this Discord server. It's pretty insane. Anyway. Let's get back to the Internet Versus video. I think we got everything we needed from that Reddit video.
Reacting to the situation, Cordelia Frey replies, "This is the fourth fucking time and the third with a massive community member. What the hell is going on with Calamity?" And Welty Fern says, "Me transforming into a horrible piece of shit the moment I become a Calamity dev." And one and only big man Lawrence says, "The mod is just cursed from the start. It helps that the original community that formed around it, including Fabsol himself, was his circle of trust, and therefore was composed of a lot of assholes."
Yeah, I mean, it literally Fabsol and Ozatron they joined within like a 20-minute buffer of each other, so that is a sign to me that they were at the very least close with each other.
Stupulid Vinus, one of the developers, replies, "I am sorry this situation required you to act anonymously, and I thank you immensely for posting this. We're in the process of booting Ozatron from the mod altogether. He won't resist or cause issues. Outrage is widespread, and many devs, including me, voice a desire to leave Calamity regardless of what happens. I still don't know how to articulate the sheer disgust and vitriol I'm feeling right now. My best wishes go to the victims of this scum, and to you guys who just want to play a mod for fun, yet had to watch it crumble at the behest of these bastards."
I mean, here's the thing. I will say, based on what I've seen, I don't think that anyone... This is going to sound crazy of me, and I don't want to downplay the inappropriate shit Ozatron was doing, because Ozatron definitely was not acting appropriately at all in the Discord server at all. I don't know if it's enough for minors to be traumatized, though. That, I don't know. I think that, because, like, here's the thing. Kids are fucking horny gooners. I was a horny gooner online. All the porn that I was exposed to as a fucking kid didn't traumatize me at all. I fucking grew up just fine. Other shit in my life traumatized me. Porn was not one of them as a kid. So, I think they're fine in that regard. I would say more likely than not, they're probably not traumatized. It's still not appropriate, and it still should have happened. I don't know if they are necessarily victims, though I do think that the environments that Ozatron had and all the other people in this Discord had could have enabled some form of grooming, potentially. And it could have been used to wear down minors' boundaries, to enable some sexual conversation to happen, or to enable some form of sexual exploitation, to sext with a underage person. You know what I mean? It could have led to that, especially given how normalized it was, and the fact that you weren't allowed to talk about the Discord with minors present in it, right? To me, it communicates that there is some level of wrongdoing, and obviously, I'm not saying Ozatron is fucking innocent by any stretch of the imagination. Ozatron is very much, in my opinion, does not deserve to be part of the mod team, and I think it's probably for the best that they boot Ozatron overall. It's probably for the best. Definitely not appropriate at all, and yeah, I don't know. It's hard to know if they'll be traumatized by it, though. I guess it's not for me to decide, but I doubt it. I don't think that the content was so extreme, and maybe there's information I'm not privy to, but I don't think it was so extreme that the minors are going to be traumatized from it, personally. I don't know.
I'll keep you guys updated. Sorry this message is so...
Maybe I'm just speaking from my own experience. I don't know.
Blades. It took a while to write it. And Substantial Eye says, I feel sorry for those of you who genuinely did not know about this. And SpongeDog says, I'd be curious if anyone on the team is taking a look at those people that associated closer with Ozatron. If you don't work hard enough to root this out, you'll just deal with it again. And too many people at the top like this probably means they let plenty of others in. Caffeine Hypershock says, all I can feel like I can say is just, sorry y'all have had to go through this. And to think that this just happened hardly over a year ago, albeit the circumstances were different. I was aspiring to one day officially help with the art direction for Calamity. I can confidently say that that dream is dead in the water. Back over to Twitter, Prisma tweets out, this is the 6th time a Calamity developer has been exposed for grooming. Can we be real? And then they quote tweet their own post with this screenshot of Ozatron saying, currently, I am concerned about keeping Calamity running and do not want to deal with the drama aspect of this at the moment. Mia tweets out, oh, Calamity mod imploded because the new lead dev after the groomer was also a groomer. What lovely news to wake up to. Great. The most insufferable person you know is currently celebrating people getting groomed because they dislike this particular Terraria mod, and this is La Epic Calamity own. Over on r/Terraria, Lord Skylair also posted the statement with the title Calamity mod ceases development, and this is just the statement here that we already read. And End My Suffering replies with a meme saying, rumors of joining a dev team specifically to impede development by getting exposed later. And just a regular guy replies, there's no reason to impede development though. Just kick them out and keep going, goddamn. And Crashman.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have been so, I guess, burnt out with all the grooming shit that's been happening, especially nowadays with politics. Like, so many people in politics, mainly, it's a thing you see on the right where rape and pedophilia are heavily downplayed and people just don't care about it. They just don't care. Like, Tectone gets outed as a rapist and all of his fanboys come in the comments and are like, but there's no evidence that Tectone raped anybody. There's no evidence, even though the court documents exist and they refuse to fucking read court documents. That would literally take them a good amount of time to look into, but they refuse to. I guess evidence doesn't exist if you can't read. I don't know. Maybe from their perspective, maybe that's what it is. If you're just a low IQ person that has no media literacy, then maybe there isn't any evidence from their perspective. What the fuck do I know, I guess. Same for Donald Trump, who won't release the Epstein files. So that's... I don't know, I guess people are just so tired of grooming shit happening, especially when it happens in online Discord servers as well. It can translate into that. Granted, I don't think what happened here was so bad that I think the kids are going to be traumatized from it. But again, what was happening was certainly not appropriate. I don't feel like a 24-year-old interacting with a 15-year-old, a bunch of other minors, having conversations about sexual interests and stuff is appropriate at all. It's definitely very icky stuff, for sure. And I could understand banning the developer for that, 100%. That's just inappropriate behavior that should never be happening at all.
Says they did kick them
and it definitely could constitute grooming, and also these are conversations that can be used to groom children
out twice. Once is a mistake, twice is a pattern. When it happens with both the hated developer and the loved developer, there's a good reason for people to start pulling their contributions from the mod. They don't want to be associated with the mod. Kedley says, Anyone have a link to a rough timeline of what led up to this for those of us who haven't been part of the Calamity community? And Destructor212113 says, more or less, it went something like this. In 2019 to 2022, FabSol, ex-lead developer, is exposed as a groomer. Lots of developers dipped, but the mod is still alive. FabSol recommended Ozatron as new lead developer. All the other developers are okay with that. They all like Ozatron. Fast forward to right now, Ozatron is also exposed as a groomer. Lots of developers felt betrayed by him, and with all the shit that's happening
I will say, I think it's kind of stupid when FabSol gets outed as alleged grooming. We haven't seen FabSol's messages, but if they are in the similar tier as Ozatron's messages, then I wouldn't fucking doubt that they're probably guilty of it as well. But if FabSol was also exposed for it, why would they listen to FabSol's recommendation for who should take over the mod? Like, that's like an instant ban and cut contact, right? If they're grooming children or they're talking to minors or something. That should be like an instant goodbye and then you move on. Like, I don't know why would they listen to the recommendation of, hey, you should listen to my advice about who should take over. Hey guys, Jeffrey Epstein got exposed and he can no longer have connections to rich people. Hey guys, go listen to Ghislaine Maxwell instead. Ghislaine Maxwell can take over, guys. Let Ghislaine Maxwell do her thing. Okay.
Doors.
Obviously, they're worse than these people are, but still.
They chose to stop development of the mod. More or less is like that. But also, this is like the 6th time something like this has happened in the mod history. It wasn't just those two. And his son Bleached Angel replies, FabSol recommended Ozatron? Yeah, that'll work out great. Asker Sucks says, it'll be interesting to see what—
I think a bigger question to ask is, why the fuck would they listen to FabSol's recommendation on this?
happens to the modding scene after this. Just Calamity was such a big part of it that I don't know what it will look like without it. And Munchie G says, yeah, it is crazy how much influence it had. I can see the day Calamity mod updated to 1.4 on my mod's subscriber graph. And Admirable Switch says, that 1.4 spike really shows how much Calamity shaped Terraria's entire modding scene. And Atul Red says, it's got so much influence that I noticed people referencing Calamity in the wild, and non-Terraria gaming spaces. And Adpass replies, there's more Calamity icons in GD than vanilla Terraria ones. Lamau. Then some memes started getting posting about Ozatron on the R Calamity mod subreddit, like this one by Frequent Leg who says, well, 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 and it's Ozatron back in 2024 saying, all of this is in pursuit of my overarching goal to maintain Calamity as the #1 Terraria mod in perpetuity, ideally until Terraria stops being updated, modded, or relevant. If I succeed, Calamity will eclipse Terraria's legacy, and may even outlive the base game in terms of relevance. See,
Ow. Well, look how that turned out.
Bounds a frackin' universe. And OP captions this by saying, the overarching goal doesn't seem to have worked out as planned. And Obligation Bright replies, first time seeing this message. Did he honestly think that Calamity was going to eclipse Terraria's legacy? Also, how ironic that he mentions the Starbound when the devs of it were also really shitty. And Winter Eclipse says, more so the higher-ups. The devs were essentially unpaid teens for the most part, from what I remember. And Eco Gorka says, given the time of the message, 2024, it's entirely understandable. The last update was in 2022, and Terraria was supposed to be finished. Yet Calamity was—
I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily know if I care about the unpaid part. I suppose, like, maybe it's, like, good practice to pay anybody who does want to contribute to your mod. But that's all it is at the end of the day. It is a modification. A lot of people that do work on mods work on it because they enjoy doing it, because of the love of the game. And people love game development. They love being creative when it comes to the modding scene. So I don't necessarily know if I care about the unpaid part as much. I feel like that part's like whatever to me. I don't know if I care necessarily. It's just the fact that there were fucking inappropriate conversations happening in these Discord servers that shouldn't have been fucking happening. And that if there were going to be minors that were working on these mods, you needed to have the appropriate boundaries to make sure that shit like this wouldn't have happened. But clearly FabSol and Ozatron don't know how to fucking properly operate a Discord server and have appropriate conversations with minors.
Was not. So even if the statement was outlandish, it wasn't inconceivable. Competitive as shape posts on the subreddit, Ozatron when FabSol was getting outed, and Onad replies, funny because this is like deadass exactly how it went. Attaching this screenshot of a message from July 24th, 2026, where he says, I've been seeing this argument of everyone knew and why did they not do anything? And I'm not gonna lie, as the person who has had ownership of that NSFW server since and still hasn't deleted it, I didn't do anything because I both didn't know what was going on and was concerned that I didn't have sufficient political grounding to survive the backlash. Even all the way up to my level, at the time then, and up until 2025, it very much was a two-faced masking game, where I walked on eggshells all the time to keep my political position safe and ensure the potential for a future for this mod. And Mario says, damn.
So why the fuck did you decide to take over the mod then? Like, what? If you knew that you were on shaky ground, why the fuck did you take leadership of it?
What a load of shit. Then XQC starts getting involved. XQC live tweets out this clip with the caption, XQC offers to buy the Calamity mod after it was shut down and is in contact with his agent to purchase it.
Chat, do you think that they would sell it? Chat, what if I bought it and I hired the devs though, to keep it alive though? Thoughts? I saw that and I asked my agents. He's gonna contact them, but
I'm not entirely sure how that would work. I mean, XQC, would you be able to... I mean, XQC is rich, so I guess the answer is yes. Would XQC be able to keep the devs on payroll to keep the mod alive? Buy it, make sure it becomes something better? I don't fucking know. I mean, I don't entirely hate the idea, but I just don't know how logistically it could work out.
Otherwise, what? The mod goes quiet or what? What is that? It's open source. What does that mean though? Are they working on it or whatever? Is there a studio though or what? What's the source? Anybody? Yeah, honestly, everybody can contribute to the mod, but is there still a structure to it? Like, is there still like why does one lead dev just get them to do that and it crashes all down like that?
And Byte replies, I don't get how people still think this dude is evil, especially because I can't fucking understand him 99% of the time.
That was me when I first watched XQC clips. I couldn't understand a word that he was saying, but if you actually listen hard enough, you can actually, like, I don't know, it gets better. The more you watch XQC, the better it gets, I guess.
Stone.
I don't know. I mean, I don't particularly hate XQC. I don't love him, but I don't really hate him either. I think there are worse Twitch streamers out there. And clearly he wants to try to keep the mod alive, so I can't really hate on him too much. He's like, he obviously has a good intention with it. He wants to try to keep the mod alive.
Burner says, I will forever glaze XQC for the rest of my life if he does this. Elfide says, XQC saves Calamity and my life will be yours. Fit of Eternity replies with this image saying, a huge wave of LARPers is approaching. Small Hat Boy says, if he bought Calamity, he would make the most horrendous decisions ever. I'd rather let it be a still corpse than a mangled taxidermied one. And Temp says, probably why in the clip he said word for word that he would then just hire the devs. Penis and Goblin quotes the post by saying, XQC dares to ask the question, what if Calamity Mod was owned by an inbred lobotomite instead of files? Queen.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I don't know if I would go as far as to say that like Ozatron or Fabsol, and granted we didn't see the depth of Fabsol's messages, so maybe Fabsol is a pedophile. I don't know. But based on the messages with Ozatron, I wouldn't go as far as to say Ozatron's a pedophile. I think that might be a little bit too much. I don't know, like, pedophile would imply that he wants to have sex with children, or he wants to engage sexually with these children, like, asking for their nudes and stuff, and, like, actually, he was just having sexual conversations with the children, which is not good, obviously, but he wasn't trying to, like, use that as an opening to, I guess, have sex with them, or try to meet up with them and have sex with them, or to get their nudes or whatever. It's just very inappropriate conversations. Shouldn't be happening. Probably should be banned off the server. Let's be fucking real. They're not a good person, but I wouldn't go as far as to say they're pedophiles. I don't know if I would go that far. I think that might be a little bit... like, if we're going to talk about situations, I think it's important that we talk about them accurately and not water down the meaning of the word pedophile, you know what I mean? Especially considering it's important now more than ever that we don't do that with actual pedophiles running our government, so...
The post by saying, XQC inheriting groomer allegations after becoming the Calamity lead dev. Lilac says, this is like when Elon Musk bought Twitter. I don't really want this. Then Crystal Barbasol quotes the post saying, lol, attaching this message of Goofus Doofus saying, XQC is buying Calamity so he can, I don't know. And Markiplier 2.0 says, XQC was rejected. He's not buying Calamity. And Crystal continues their post saying, for the record, I think rejecting it was the right idea. There are literally only 2 developers left upholding the mod. Everyone else has left. So many people have left that they don't even have the manpower to take out what tracks and sprites were pulled. If someone else bought it, it simply wouldn't be the same mod. Most of the the developers left because they were plain old tired. Upholding Calamity has already been a Herculean feat, and then the 2 back-to-back files were just the breaking point. MeowSatU says, well, this sucks. If it's not going open source and not being acquired, the mod is just dead forever then. And Crystal says, Calamity is already open source, attaching a GitHub link, and Emery says, it's source available but not open source, meaning the code is still copyrighted. And Crystal says it shouldn't be copyrighted as far as I know. Ozatron, the former lead, only currently owns the Calamity mod name and LLC. The code base is free for anyone to redistribute as of now. And there's a message from MRRP.
Well, I guess that's good news. I suppose, I'm sure people will do the right thing with the Calamity mod. I'm sure that it will pick up the pieces, and I think people will make it grooming free, we'll say. Yeah, again, I don't think that Ozatron or I can't speak for Fabsol because I haven't seen the extent of Fabsol's messages, but I don't think Ozatron's like a pedophile or whatever. I haven't seen anything that would indicate that they're like a pedophilic person. It's just that, again, they were having very, very inappropriate conversations about sexual interests, and it was obviously not appropriate. Clearly, Ozatron has some boundary issues and probably shouldn't be a developer, or probably shouldn't be on a server full of minors. I certainly wouldn't trust them to be on one. But again, I don't know if I would go as far as to say they're like a pedophile. You know what I mean? I think that's a little bit, there's no evidence that would suggest that from what I saw. I don't know.
Saying updates, the dev team is working with a Tmod staff in order to officially transfer ownership of the workshop to a new owner. It is a bit of a process which will take time, but the ultimate result will be a successful transference. Legally, Ozatron does not hold the rights to anything but As If You're LLC and the name Calamity Mod. So characters, the codebase, and other content do not belong to him. And Binomiko says, well, the license file certainly says everything belongs to As If You're LLC.
Whoa.
Other mods also were unhappy with XQC offering, and Bloom tweets out these screenshots.
Again, I can understand people being iffy about XQC buying the mod. I think XQC had good intentions with buying the mod. I think that he wants to keep the mod alive. He said he would pay some developers to keep working on it, of course. I think XQC's intentions were well. And like clearly he wanted to keep it alive, but I can also understand why people are a little bit maybe concerned that it just wouldn't be the same mod, or that the creative direction would have lost its fire and it just wouldn't be the same mod under XQC's ownership. I can understand, you know, like it would be different probably.
With the caption, Calamity mod developer goes off on XQC after he offered to hire the devs to save it. And there's a bunch of messages from this user, Cog, saying, fuck XQC. I don't think anyone on the Calamity dev team wants to work under XQC in any manner. XQC is a piece of shit, and it was never about the money.
Damn. That's not very nice.
Why don't you go play the actual mods that they're working on if you actually care about their passion projects? We linked to them all in announcements. Actually, I think they might have even had a weird polygon thing going on with Silva too. I don't know, I didn't frequent lore chat much. For an incredibly LGBTQ mod, I can only imagine the people supporting XQC buying the mod are a bunch of his chud fans that have no idea what Calamity even is. I
never really saw XQC as a chud. Is XQC a chud? I never saw XQC as right-wing. I don't know. That might be a stretch. Listen, if it was Asmongold buying this mod, I would be 100% more understanding. The guy who says that black people are genetically inferior to white people, that says we should bring back slavery, that downplays Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein and on Epstein Island, and Asmongold saying we need to shoot children that cross the border illegally. I would be more concerned then, because Asmongold would probably just make it like an anti-woke game, and then he would just like laugh and jerk off to violence on illegal immigrants. He would just completely change the mod entirely. So I could understand a lot more then, but I don't know about XQC. I understand maybe if like XQC would change the direction of the mod, but I've never really seen him as right-wing.
Ever heard a good thing?
Is he actually right-wing? I don't think he is. I feel like that's a stretch. I don't know.
About XQC. Don't worry, I'm sure XQC's lawyer would find a way to add microtransactions to it. And Stannis replies, moral grandstanding retards would rather let the mod die than allow it to be developed with a bigger budget than the mod has ever had. Holy fucking virtue signaling of doom.
Well, I don't think that that's entirely the criticism. I think the criticism that they had is that XQC could make the direction of the mod not what it was originally intended to be, to the point where it doesn't feel like the same mod anymore. And that's the big concern with letting XQC take ownership. So I think that that's definitely more of a valid concern than XQC being like a right-wing chud or whatever, because I don't think XQC is a right-wing chud. I've never seen him as a right-wing chud. I never got that vibe from him.
And Mellum says, "You're dumb as bricks if you ever thought something like this was about the money. Also, at least they have fucking morals." And Dagomaster says, "Ah yes, the morals of not wanting to work under XQC, whose biggest controversy ever was that he took a gambling sponsorship. What a moral grandeur." And Tripodily replies, "Sure, bud," showing XQC shaking Trump's hand with Aiden Ross.
Oh, that is kind of tough. I actually forgot about that. He did shake Donald Trump's hand. That is pretty fucking rough. Yeah, Aiden Ross is also a weird loser. I never particularly enjoyed Aiden Ross as a person. Yeah, that's pretty tough. I don't know.
Big Con said,
to be honest with you, I still don't think XQC is right wing. I think it is tough to justify shaking hands with the fucking pedophile president. But it's still, like, I don't think XQC understands the gravity of Donald Trump, I guess. I don't know. I don't think XQC is the brightest guy ever. I don't think he's a bad person. I just think he probably saw it as, like, an opportunity. Hey, Aiden Ross is streaming with Donald Trump. I remember when he was streaming with Donald Trump, or had Donald Trump on a stream. Aiden Ross is streaming, Donald Trump's here. Hey, guess what? We're going to fucking shake hands with Donald Trump because he's doing this opportunity thing or whatever.
As his biggest controversy was slurring someone out in Overwatch League, lol. And Palm says, "What was the slur exactly?" And Big Con attaches a BBC article that says Overwatch pro player suspended over homophobic slur. And
whoa, XQC saying the F slur? Whoa.
And Palm says,
"That's not good."
So now read it, you monkey. What slur did he say?
Read it, you monkey. Bro. Oh my god. Hey guys, slurs are not that big of a deal. Also, let's call somebody a monkey, which is attributed to a racist trope towards black people. Wow.
Dumbass retard got clickbaited.
Whoa!
In the big 2026. And just for context, I looked this up. This wasn't in the BBC article. This is an article by Mashable. The BBC article didn't seem to have the direct quote. The Mashable says Langiel, which is XQC's last name, who was on the bench for Thursday's game against the Outlaws, was angry about Wilmot using his signature phrase "rolled and smoked" in reference to the fuel after the Outlaws pulled off a 4-0 victory. This was back in 2018. Amidst other colorful language, Langiel said to Wilmot on his stream, "Shut your fucking mouth, go back there, suck a fat cock. I mean, you would like it."
Oh. Are they saying that XQC had homophobic intentions because he says, "Oh, I know you like sucking dick," or whatever? Is that the intention? Whatever. It just seems like gamer trash talk. It seems like kind of a nothing burger.
Then,
I don't think XQC is actually a homophobic person. It's just like, it just seems like really dumb, idiot gamer trash talk.
Wilmot,
unless I'm about to eat my words and he says a homophobic slur here.
who is openly gay, addressed Langiel's comment during a personal live stream, saying Langiel's a homophobic piece of garbage, adding about himself that he'll just keep winning.
Well, if he actually was a gay person, that is kind of rough. That sucks. I don't know, man. I would be upset too if that was me and I was a gay person, but I'm not. So I'm not upset at it.
Langiel,
people can call me gay all they want. I'll never be offended because I know I'm not. That's incredible.
And apologize to Wilmot on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, if they want to ban XQC from the tournament, that's fine. I can understand that, but I don't think he meant it with, like, homophobic intention, to my understanding. It just seems like XQC was just trash-talking and being a total idiot about it.
Twitter, and Wilmot accepted the apology. So this is the alleged slurring as the user describes it. Back over to the Twitter post about the mod talking about XQC. Weeaboo Jones replies to it by saying, "I don't even watch X2C and I know this soy boy is overreacting." And Vizisa says, "This guy virtue signaling in Discord doesn't watch him either. You can tell all of his opinions on X2C were crafted by his Twitter timeline." The villain formerly known as Hani quotes the post by saying, "I don't think you get to do moral grandstanding after it's been outed that you've been working for Vowels. Say what you will about XQC, but he's not that bad comparatively."
I don't think... I mean, again, there might be information I'm not privy to, but again, I haven't really seen anything from Ozatron that would suggest he himself is a pedophile. It's still very disgusting, the shit that he was engaging in. Haven't seen anything yet that suggests he's a pedophile. I'm not going to die on this hill. I'm not going to die too hard on it, because what happened was bad, obviously, and they deserve some level of repercussions to happen to them, but... I don't know. Again, I haven't really seen pedophilic behavior just yet.
Yeah.
Although, come to think of it, that rule with the lolly thing was a little bit strange. I do remember that very briefly, where they had a rule about, like, going into specifics of what classifies as lolly. I don't know. Maybe Maybe, like, for them being way too fucking knowledgeable on what lolly is, maybe they are a pedophile. I don't know. Maybe.
XQC is a chud, which is clearly worse than being a pedophile. And C1404 says, he's not even a chud, bro. His YouTube audience leans right, but XQC himself is a Canadian lib, Lamau. He's pro-gay and pro-trans and everything.
Yeah, I never saw XQC as right-wing. His audience might be right-wing, because I know he has some overlap with, Asmongold and some people in his spheres, and Asmongold's audience is, like, actually MAGA. Like, they're not even, like, normal right. They are MAGA.
Xerdo then tweets out that XQC was rejected by developers after offering to buy Terraria's Calamity mod to keep the project alive, and PaxDisc says, retard mod developers refusing
Whoa!
literal millions. At this point, they deserve it. Unfortunate, as Calamity is really fun.
I mean, again, they are just worried about the creative direction of it at this point.
And Onyx
Sucks what happened, you know, all the people associated with it, on top of the fact that it just doesn't have that creative fire anymore. And if a lot of bad people are getting exposed in these Discord servers, yeah, that would drive away the creative fire from anybody. I think so.
replies, capitalism has you chained at the ankles, huh? They ended the project because the main dev was a groomer. Fuck his mod and his ideas. And PaxDisc says, I don't give a fuck about their little Discord drama. The mod is great and I've enjoyed playing it multiple times.
Yeah, well, God bless. I mean, hopefully they'll revive the mod maybe someday. Or maybe not. I don't know.
And Onyx replies, like I said, enslaved. And Guac and Meat replies, LARPing at its best, showing this user has never tweeted about Terraria. And they reply, with all due respect, I am 27 years old. I don't sit on my ass and tweet all day. You won't find any tweets about my favorite games of all time either. And
okay, but you're here in a Twitter argument right now? I don't know, man.
I'm Not a Real Guy says, you have 70,000 tweets since May 2017. That's 21 tweets per day on average, or a tweet every 45 minutes while you're awake, assuming you slept for 8 hours. You're terminally online.
Probably. I mean, I don't know. They're LARPing as a non-terminally online person, I guess.
And Johnny Jost.
But whatever. Whatever. It is what it is. Like, it's fucking, who cares?
Says, no PFP accounts dropping truth nukes as usual. W. Mystic Slime quotes the post by saying, the way this is worded is extremely deceptive. The issue isn't money or new management. It's that nobody wants to work on / be associated with a project which has had so many files affiliated with it throughout the years. XQC.
Again, I haven't seen any pedophiles involved with it.
Buying
that might be false, though. Maybe they were trying to sexually exploit minors there. I don't know.
It wouldn't magically save Calamity. I just hate how this is being framed as, oh, the devs would rather let the mod die than have XQC save it, when the devs are well within their rights to want nothing to do with this anymore. Plus, throwing more money at it won't accomplish anything. And Story Edge says, I don't know. I think a lot of people would rather let something die than have XQC save it. Then there was conversations about the music in the Calamity mod. Everquartz tweets out, Dokuro is removing his music from Calamity mod. It's so over.
That's tough, man. Even the composer was like, yeah, I don't want my work of art touching this mod. That's tough, man. Oof, that's a big hit. A lot of people don't talk about how important the music is for the game or how important the music is for a mod. That's tough, man. If the music composer is withdrawing all the music from the game, that's a big hit. That's a big fucking hit. I don't know. That's tough.
Attaching a r/Calamity mod post by WLWYay saying, DM Dokuro will remove his music from the mod. And it's him saying, Tieski has been in talks with Dokuro, who I can only imagine is nuclear pissed about this. And he's told me that Dokuro is all but certainly removing his music from the mod. However, then Priest replies with a message from Tieski, the person who was talking with the music creator. And Tieski says, it was misinfo. Blew far out of proportion. I had to farther reach out to Doc to tell him about it. I told Pluto he might. I have confirmation whether he's going to pull or not, but I won't disclose. And a user says, oh, so there was already someone going around claiming that he would or wouldn't. And Tieski says, yeah. I told Pluto with what he's saying he just might. And he took it as a 100% confirm. And then someone SS'd it and Reddit posted. And now it's all over the place. And Funny Man says, I have confirmation on whether or not he's going to pull, but I won't disclose. Although I will say he might pull it.
Why are you fucking putting on a voice now all of a sudden, Internet Versus? The fuck is that? The fuck is this impression?
WTF? Fucking vague post Emperor over here. Just to stay quiet at this point. Then over on Reddit, this clip gets posted by Destructor on the Calamity mod subreddit with the caption, the Calamity music mod will be deleted. And they attach the live stream it's taken from and the timestamp, but here is the clip.
I do want to clarify the future of the music mod side of things.
For the Calamity music mod?
Yeah, Calamity music mod, like the actual like dependency for Calamity.
Yeah.
Because of the sheer capacity, the sheer number of people that want their music taken out of the mod, And the way that music is owned legally versus the sprite assets with respect to the mod itself, we are just taking down the mod, and Calamity will be played with vanilla music. That's the only change happening to it. The content in the mod itself will remain untouched, but there will not be custom music anymore. We're just not going to bother with it.
Yeah, that's a huge hit to the mod. That's tough. Oh, man. It's a shame. Calamity is going to be Terraria community's equivalent to what Silent Hills was to us Silent Hill fans. That's going to be real sad. I know the feeling. I genuinely know the feeling. It's like, what could have been?
Yeah, it is completely over. Calamity is pretty much unplayable without his music.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, like, music is the heart and soul for a lot of video games. So I totally understand. Like, it's rough.
Just to delist the mod at this point, Boss 2 playing during Calamity's fight my ass, and Rip Bacon says, I assume it's possible to make a independent music mod with new music since copyright would be an issue, but most people probably wouldn't want to do that. And a good human replies, the only reason why I even bothered trying Calamity was because of its music. Ben Jammin says, this feels so painfully unnecessary to do. I know it's his decision, but man, doing this hurts only the community that still deeply cares for the mod by now making it in arguably a borderline unplayable state. The music is half the identity of this mod. I beg the devs to just keep the mod frozen. This is incredibly self-destructive for no reason. And the Wolf Agent says, yeah, them removing the music isn't hurting Ozotron whatsoever. Bro already took the Patreon money and went radio silent. Removing the music won't make the money come back. And Incubator says, they don't want their work associated with the project anymore. That's their right, and there's nothing you can say that takes that away. It sucks, but so does the rest of this godforsaken situation.
Yeah.
And Joey King says, the vast majority...
Well, I suppose you could still, at the very least, listen to the music online, whether it's on YouTube, SoundCloud, or whatever, wherever the fucking music composers post it. At least you could still listen to it somewhere. Maybe not in the mod anymore, but yeah, it's tough.
If people are still going to associate,
or maybe someone will post like an archive of the mod with the music in it itself, so people can still maybe enjoy it. I guess I imagine that's probably a route people will take.
Add music with the mod and find out how to use the music regardless if it gets taken down. It doesn't do anything. Back over to Twitter, Blastifalosi posts these screenshots with the caption, by the way, Ozotron, the second owner of Calamity who got outed as a pedophile, seems to be trying to fight the Calamity devs for some reason, preventing them
I haven't seen any evidence that Ozotron themselves is a pedophile.
From putting their resignation letter.
Inappropriate as fuck with minors for sure, 100%, but I maybe, am I fucking crazy? Like, am I genuinely going crazy? I looked at the evidence. Maybe there's more evidence I haven't seen, okay? Maybe I'm willing to have my mind change on this, and I'm willing to change my take on this if there's evidence I haven't seen. But given the evidence I've seen, here's what we have, right? Ozotron engaging in very inappropriate conversations about sexual interests with minors. Absolutely inappropriate, 100%, no question about it. I'm not gonna fucking push back on that whatsoever. 100% inappropriate, and they deserve to not be part of the Calamity mod anymore. They deserve to be fucking banned, and they deserve to be like punished to some extent. So I understand where people are coming from when wanting to create a space that's safe for minors on Discord. Like, I totally understand where they're coming from, but I haven't really seen any evidence of them being actually interested in these fucking kids. And I feel like when we attach that to it just lazily, it just feels so like diminishing to people who have actually been through pedophilia. I don't know. I'm not gonna die on this hill too hard, but it's like, what are we? I feel like it's important that when we talk about situations, it's important to talk about them accurately. You know what I mean? If we're just gonna lazily say, oh, this person's a pedophile without even like looking at it, like, it just feels, I don't know. Something about that just doesn't seem right, but whatever. I'm not gonna die too hard on that hill, because maybe there's evidence that I'm not privy to.
On the website, plus withholding the Patreon money from the devs. And there's this screenshot attached that says, from the Calamity mod developers addenda, this message was intended to be hosted through the website, but during the process of making it, Ozotron has removed our ability to push to the website repository. Earlier in the day, we had removed
Wow, what a dickhead. Holy fuck. It's like, hey guys, I got outed for having inappropriate conversations with kids. Oh, by the way, you're not allowed to fucking post on the repository anymore. Bye-bye, fuck you. Last fuck you from the grave. What a dickhead. Holy shit.
references to CD music from the website and had planned to remove other musicians accordingly. This change was done recently, and in response to us planning to do this, we were being watched while Ozatron is in offline mode and completely unresponsive to us. Oz has been totally uncommunicative for more than a day now about owed bounties for labor and what he intends to do with the several thousand in saved Patreon money. We have not been compensated for our labor, and due to this, we have strong reason to believe Ozatron is currently combative with us and has no intention of compensating us for our work.
Probably not. I doubt it.
And
I mean, they already got outed. They probably just want to fucking lay low and not deal with any of the backlash that they got for being outed as a fucking weird person. Let's be real.
There's these screenshots attached. Over here on the left, it says our resignation. Hey everybody, we've been having a lot of internal discussion, and after much debate, we've come to announce a very difficult decision, and then the whole message about ceasing development of Calamity on the website. And then there's a message here on the right that says, you need to fork this repository to propose changes, basically saying that they do not have permissions to do that. This was also posted on the Calamity mod subreddit by CEI72, who is a mod of the subreddit and a developer, who says, notice, please cancel all Patreon subscriptions. Us devs are no longer receiving income from this. Ozatron has all control over the money. If you still wish to support some of us, here are links to projects some of us have moved on to, and Ko-Fis of people who are relying on this income to donate to. And essentially he just repeats the information again and links a whole bunch of different servers and Ko-Fis of the devs. On the Calamity mod subreddit, this meme gets posted by every mind with the caption, music mod is getting deleted. And it's Satan saying, my child will respect the devs' wishes and play a neutered Calamity. And then the good saying, Calamity version archive. And sincerely the worst replies, there are so many people out there who have spent more time playing Calamity than the devs spent actively working on it. I say fair game preservation. And Jijonbreaker says, yep, this is what I've been saying. If you support Stop Killing Games, you must pirate Calamity. They are the same thing, just different scales.
I agree. Yeah, if you want to archive Calamity, that's totally fine. Like, a lot of people really enjoyed the work that went into it, and people want to still play it even if there's no active work being put into it. There was work that went into it, and why fucking delete all of it? Why get rid of the archives for it, you know? Even if the development's not, like, stopping, people still enjoy it. Let people enjoy these things, right?
Devs don't get to...
Yeah, I agree. Like, Stop Killing Games, yeah. I could see the comparison with Stop Killing Games and then killing Calamity. Yeah, I can understand that entirely, yeah. Actually, that's actually, like, this person on Reddit actually has a really good point, yeah.
To just remove access to a game because it's not beneficial for them anymore. Quiet Lawyer says, for some reason the only ones who get punished is the community, not the so I guess it's absolutely okay to use music mod copy. And Zombox says, the only one who won this drama seems to be the PO. And Rankbra says, yeah, he still has all the money. He did get doxxed by Soyjack Party though. So there's that. And a Pro Gamer also made a post about this on the Calamity mod subreddit, saying Ozatron's data got leaked by the people from a certain Soyjack website.
Whoa.
Saying, whoa, that was honestly expected. And Atomic Blaze replies, this is the equivalent of Satan rising up from hell to fight the Nazis.
I guess.
Shoutouts to our Tier 3 members, internet representatives. Sal Sound, Cultist Bandito, Captain Crashout, Noobster, and
Wait, where'd Kiko go?
Squunchmo. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you all in the next episode.
Wow, that was a very insane situation, to say the least. Insane, massive day for the unemployed covering Terraria drama. I did not have Terraria drama on my 2026 bingo card, but alas. Cool beans.